Once again, welcome. Big story, well, actually our extra. Now, this is where we tackle the most pressing issues shaping the conversation around the African continent. And this week, the organization, or rather Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, the OCCRP, released its 2024 Persons of the Year final list. It's an annual list spotlighting global leaders accused of corruption or enabling organized crime. Now, this year's conversation or controversial finalists include President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria and President William Ruto of Kenya, alongside Bashar al-Assad of Syria. What a group! Anybody being put together with Bashar al-Assad, I mean, you can only imagine. And yes, that would be Judith whistling in the corner there. But the OCCRP's report alleges serious governance and financial misconduct claims that have sparked heated debates in both Nigeria and also in Kenya as well. Now, while supporters of Tinubu and Ruto dismiss these allegations as politically motivated, critics argue that such recognition underscores the need for transparency and accountability in leadership. Judith.
Oh, yes, indeed. And so to help us unpack this, we're joined by Segun Adeyemi. He is a senior reporter at Pulse.ng, and he will provide insights into Nigeria's reaction to Tinubu's inclusion on the list. We do hope to have Chris Otieno join us later on to give his own insight on the Kenya's perspective. But for now, we have Segun. Segun, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you for doing this with us. The OCCRP is now named President Bola Tinubu a finalist for Corrupt Person of the Year, and it has it's created quite the buzz for media, but it's radio silence on the APC. I mean, what has been the general reaction so far? You know, just reporting.
I'd like to start from, thank you for having me. So, I'd like to start from the antecedents of how Tinubu came into power. And if you go by that sequence, you would see that there are a lot of controversies surrounding his emergence as president, and also while being president, there are some actions he has taken over time in his in a short year in office so far, and this has continually breathed some kind of divide amongst people, his supporters and other Nigerians who feel like he should do better in trying to correct the mistakes of previous administrations. And if you go on social media, you know, go on the streets of Nigeria and hear what people are saying, it's not in his favor at all at the moment. It's not in his favor, and there are also talks that these could further dent his chances of of a second term. Although he is in the ruling party, and if you look at the antecedent of how the ruling party has done well in elections, we could say he still stands a chance of getting a second term. But with what is going on around his administration at the moment, he's not projecting an example of a leader who wants an absolute reform for Nigeria.
Segun, I'd like to know exactly what the matrices are for approaching, or rather arriving at the conclusion for Tinubu and Ruto from Kenya to actually be on this list. Are you aware what these might be? Like you said, is it antecedents or is it things that have happened while they were or are in office?
Okay, although there are no particular metric released yet at the moment, we're still waiting on that. But from what we've gathered over time, it also boils down to his policies, the controversy surrounding him before and after he came into office. And again, for someone who has been preaching the mantra of renewed hope and wanting to return Nigeria back to its glory days, there were some actions he took that were not fitting to what his mantra seeks to achieve. For example, the purchase of the private jet. This was at the time where Nigerians were complaining about serious inflation and hunger, hardship, and for a leader who who is sensitive enough wouldn't have done that at the time when he did that. And again, some people might make a case for him that, he's the president, the safety of the president is paramount as the #1 citizen and all that. But then it's ill-timed for such a decision. Now, the tax reform bill is also on the plate. There's no clear explanation of what the bill is all about. Sometimes when you watch the parliamentary session in the House of Senate, you would notice that even the lawmakers don't really understand what this bill is all about. And again, I would also want to kind of blame it on the media a little bit, because we need to sensitize Nigerians, do a breakdown of this bill for people to really understand, because Tinubu's administrative approach so far has been a bit, I don't know the word to use now. It's not clear. It doesn't give clarity. Some of his policies might make sense at the surface level, but Nigerians want in-depth information. Nigerians want in-depth analysis. Nigerians want to know what they're going into. And this is what the Tinubu administration has failed to do over time. We need to know these things. We need to understand what we want to go into. And at present, these are not being done at the moment. And I don't know, his communication and media team are also not helping matters at all as regards that area. We need a proper breakdown of all these policies for Nigerians to be clear as to what he wants to achieve with his policies.
So policy messaging seems to have an issue, according to you, like you said. But let's also look at the economic metrics of things as well. This spotlight on the president and him making the final list for Corrupt Person of the Year, it now begs to ask a question about what it would mean for potential interests in investing in our economy as a nation on the global stage. The outsiders looking in, investors looking in. What does it mean?
So I lost you a bit.
All right, I was saying that with this spotlight on our president, and at a time where our economy and the cost of living crisis is having a chokehold on everyone, with this spotlight on our president being a finalist on this list, what does it mean for investors coming in? How does it look like for us on a global stage? Is it bad?
Well, if you look at it on the surface level, yes, it is. But I don't know what his economic team are going to do about that. And but then these are some of the issues we're talking about. When controversies keep unfolding and unraveling, though not proven, but yet these are some of the issues that will continue to dent his administration as it is at the moment. And in terms of foreign investment, these are some of the metrics that they will look at and be like, should we invest in Nigeria? Should we work with this government? What is the inflation rate talking about? Is this going to favor us? We saw last year where some top foreign conglomerates left the country, and this is as a result of the economic hardship, and nothing is being shown to say that they are actually working towards it. Like I said, it might be as a form of lack of communication, messaging to the people that, this is what we are doing, this is what we are trying to do, this is what is in the pipeline, we are trying to set in motion. Nothing like that. So I feel I saw his media rally recently. He sounded like someone who knows what he's doing. But what about his team? Do they know what they're doing? Are they projecting him the right way? Are they giving us the appropriate information as to how he tends to direct his administration to making Nigerians have a better life, a better working condition, and the like. So for me, with this report by the OCCRP, I feel like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is at a crossroad at the moment, and is at a serious slippery slope on the edge, and he has to correct that to earn the trust of Nigerians.
Did you just say talk?
Did I? No, I didn't say tall, but it sounds like something I would say, but let me just say it, tall. Thank you very much, Segun Adeyemi, for joining us and giving us your expert opinion here regarding the list that was put out by the OCCRP. We'll come to you next time for more of these all kinds of discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.